In my opinion, the most underrated and possibly one of the best cantrips out there is... Now, you may recall that yesterday I said today I'd be talking about voices and getting into using voices in your character role-playing, and I'm not going to talk about that today because I have a little bit of a rant to go on. So what I will do, we'll talk about voices tomorrow. Here's the rant, and I'm going to start the rant with a question because I want to know from you, what is your favorite cantrip and why? Why? Why is it that cantrip, whatever it is your favorite? Now, of course, if you're not even a caster or you don't really particularly like playing caster classes, maybe this isn't the question for you. However, here's my rant. In my opinion, the most underrated and possibly one of the best cantrips out there, of course this depends on your campaign, the game style you're playing in. However, I think one of the best, if not the best cantrip out there is mending. Yes, mending. Why, you might ask? Let me tell you why, to me, mending is the best cantrip. Every time I see a game or I play in a game where there is some kind of obstacle, minor obstacle in the way, I can't believe the number of times I think to myself, well, like, that could probably be resolved if you just fix that thing. Like, oh, we came up to some text, like there's some rune work or some, carving on the wall, but it's hard to read. Mending, fix it. Or, now, of course, your DM could be a jerk and say, oh, well, it goes back to perfect stone. And that's a possibility, I suppose. But there's so many other ways that it can be used. Oh, the rope snapped. Oh, we had to cut our rope in half to make 2 lengths of it. Oh, you just got riddled with holes from that combat. Here, this is a beautiful moment of role play. The wizard, the sorcerer, whatever caster has access to the mending spell, walks over to the fighter who just got pincushioned and lays a comforting arm on their shoulder and says, hey, it's not much, but let me put your armor back together. Little things like that you can role play are super fun. And then there's these clutch moments where, again, the super special, incredible thing, the glass got broken, and now what? Now we have nothing to put our, the blood of the dragon in or something, or whatever it is. There's so many opportunities for mending to be used, and I do that when I play my wizard. I always look for that. I look for those. Now, is this cantrip gonna come into play every single game? Probably not. So on that level, you might say it's not the most versatile, it's not the most, useful and that kind of thing. So there's definitely an argument why mending is not the best cantrip, of course. I mean, if all you want is to shoot fire bolts at your opponent, then for you might think firebolt is the best cantrip. And I totally respect that. I generally, see, this goes back to my philosophy. I talked a little bit about it in the mini-series I did on the classes, and I'll do more of those. I'll get more into that in the future again. I'll put a link up there to that. When I was talking about the wizard and all that, I mean, these are one of the things that is going through my mind. I always look at utility, regardless of what kind of caster I'm going to play. If I'm a paladin, if I'm a druid, if I'm a sorcerer, wizard, whatever, and even now playing this warlock, tonight, I get to play my warlock again tonight. Session 2, please come check it out at 6:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Back to what I was saying, even when I'm playing my warlock tonight, I always try to think of I want to have something that I could do damage consistently with and not cost me anything. Like, I'm a caster, right? This is why 5th edition introducing cantrips in the first place, and even to some degree, I guess in 4th edition they did this, where you have this ongoing ability to just like zap people. It's not huge damage, but well, the fighter can swing their sword or poke their spear every round. Why can't, you know, the magic users do something similar? And that was a brilliant addition, I think. So you can do that. I always think that the cantrips should be broad. Like, pick cantrips that you think you're going to actually use. And that's why for me, mending is it. Now, I know it's not as fun and sexy as prestidigitation, and you know, it certainly might not be as again, sexy, fun, and interesting as thaumaturgy. You know, those are cool. You can absolutely do great stuff. Those 2 spells, of course, will make for great role-playing as well. And if your intention is to be like that person who is intimidating or is persuasive and that sort of thing, then that might be the perfect spell for that character. And for me, mending is just it across the board. Anytime I play a caster that has access to mending, I pretty much always get it. Because I know if the game goes on for a while, there will, at some point, come up a situation where we need a 50-foot rope and you dummies only cut it into half, and now what? Yeah, of course you can tie knots into it, but that's boring in my opinion. I'd much rather wave my hand and make some magic happen and zoop, hey, here's your good as new, perfectly useful rope or tool or bridge or wall or window or lock or whatever it is that you need to fix in a flash. Hey, I will see you tomorrow. I will talk about voices, getting started voicing your character tomorrow, and thank you for joining me. I'll see you at the table someday. Keep rolling 20s, and remember, it's your game. Play your way.